Let's break it down with Hand of the Week.
Welcome to Hand of the Week, where Patrick, our resident fish, and I dive into listener-submitted hands. Each week, we're going to tackle everything from questionable bluffs to hero calls and, of course, the hands that make you scratch your head. Whether you're looking for strategy tips or you just want to see if you played it any better, we have you covered. And, Patrick, how are you?
I am wonderful, my friend.
Well, let's get this rolling. We have a Hand of the Week sent in by Chuck Guerra. And Chuck, if I mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry. But I think that's right.
It sounds right to me. If we're wrong, then Chuck, sincere apologies. We do our best. We were not English majors in college, I can promise you.
We're playing 1-3.
Okay.
And it looks like Chuck gives us a little bit of background on this player. So he says the hijack calls, and the hijack is a passive old rich guy that likes to limp call pre-flop and bet small 2 to 3 streets for mediocre value. He plays kind of face up, and I already ran a big all-in bluff on the river and won against him.
Nice. Okay.
So he calls. We're in the cutoff with the Queen of Hearts, Jack of Hearts.
I like that.
How much do you like that?
I like it enough to, we're definitely, I don't know, probably 10, 11.
Well, let's see. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, you've got one caller, so I think
you probably need to go a little bit bigger.
It's a little
with
on
another
the small side.
Yeah, I think you got to go a little bit bigger. I think you probably got to go to 12 to 15.
Yeah, 100%.
Forget 10 or 11. I'm going 14. Nice round numbers.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I'm just being an oddball today. Let's go.
Well, I'm just glad to hear that you're not just calling.
So dear, no. You know what? For everyone that listens, you should go back and listen to some of our early days. We've come a long way. So for everyone that started with us, keep listening. You can get better too. Anyway, back to it. Yes, I'm going 14.
Yeah, and I want to try and isolate the hijack. I want to try and get him heads up. So I was thinking 15 to 20. I think
even bigger.
Only because I really want to get heads up against the hijack. But 15 is a perfectly reasonable bet there. Chuck goes even bigger than me. He goes 25. And to me, that seems like a little too big, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, we're only talking $5 more than what I'm saying, but I mean, if you look at the optics, 25 seems bigger to me than 20. Much bigger than 20. And it looks like you're trying to take it down.
Yeah.
Right?
It does.
Because that's essentially, I think, what we're trying to do. So if that's what your goal is, great. See what happens. But yeah, he goes 25. The button calls, and he says, this is a 40-ish year old reg who can be pretty wild. He has put in a lot of time at the tables and done pretty well in some tournaments, but can tilt pretty easy.
Okay.
So he calls, and the hijack calls.
All right. Well, that's not ideal, but by the way, that 40-year-old, I mean, I'm not 40, but sounds a lot like me. Well, that's not ideal at all. So three to the flop here.
Right, which makes 79 in the pot.
Yeah.
And the flop is the ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 2 of spades. The hijack checks.
Well, you know my lovely sound. Womp womp womp.
Yeah.
All right. Ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 2 of spades. Checks to us. I think I'm checking here.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can check here and see what the button does.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna play. Bar something, some kind of lunacy, but I think a check is okay here.
I don't see the hijack having an ace here, just because of what Chuck said. When he tends to bet 2 to 3 streets,
yeah,
for mediocre value. So I don't think he has an ace. So we'll just see what the button does from here.
Yeah.
Chuck does check, and the button checks.
Love it.
So we go to the turn
Free street
with the same $79 in the pot.
Free street is okay by me.
And we see the 8 of diamonds pairing the board. So the hijack checks again.
Check.
Huh.
Yep. I knew it. I knew. For everyone that's not going to see this, I saw a facial expression.
Well, here's my question. If we bet here, what can we represent?
You could definitely represent, a face card 8 suited. You can definitely represent that. You can represent having 2 pair, pocket somethings.
Well, let me stop you at the first one though.
Yeah.
When you say face card 8, so you're saying not an ace.
Not an ace.
Probably.
King 8, Queen 8.
Would we have raised that pre-flop?
Suited, maybe, but probably not. We could probably. You could represent kings, queens, jacks, 10s.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know that
you could. That's a big raise with king 8, even suited. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So I don't know that kings would really be the thing either. Maybe, just because I don't think we would have checked the flop if we had kings or queens even. Even though there's an ace out there, I still think we would have continued most of those. But 10s for sure.
Yeah.
Jacks maybe. Which if we want to represent this with 10s, I think we can. I don't think your check is wrong, but I think
here's my follow-up to that. Do you want to represent 10s? Are you feeling good about this? I'm not feeling bad, but we're sitting on. If someone's got an ace, they got us. Someone's got a king, they got us. An 8, diamond draw.
Right. We're not going to win this hand unless we can show some aggression here. That's my point. I
literally kind of teed that one up for you. I could have kept going a few more if you wanted me to, but I literally that was bad or great. Maybe that was planned. Yeah. Well, in that case, you're absolutely right. I interrupted you. Check's not bad, but that's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, check's not bad, but I think I can put out a bet, half pot maybe.
And represent enough.
Yeah.
I think you definitely get one to fold, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know that we get both of them to fold, so in that case, maybe the check is better. I don't know. But I'm going to put out 40.
Okay.
And Chuck bets 45. So there you go. The button calls, but the hijack folds.
Okay.
So we're heads up now.
Yeah, that's what you wanted. Okay.
Chuck says it might have been reckless to bet here.
Chuck,
well,
you
if it's
said
reckless,
it, not me.
if it's reckless, then we're both a little reckless. So there you go.
Says
but
the
he
guy
does
that waits
say
until December 23rd to get his Christmas presents.
I like to live on the edge.
This is great. Let's go. Ride or die.
He says it might have been reckless to bet here, but I feel like hijack is playing pretty much face up, and the button probably wouldn't check too many aces on the flop, and I don't think they have many eights in their range either.
Very accurate, Chuck.
I block a lot of the ace queen, ace jack hands that he would flat with too. So we go on to the river. There's 169 in the pot.
That's right.
And the river is the 8 of clubs. Oof. So the board is the ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 2 of spades, 8 of diamonds, 8 of clubs.
And for clarifying purposes, is it we had 79 in there and we just put 80? Is that 159? Not 169?
There was 79 in there. He
80,
bet 45, so he put
45. That's right. You're absolutely right. 159. Or 169, excuse me. 169.
Yeah, 169. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 2 of spades, 8 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. You lean in, right?
I mean, if we were representing pocket tens or something like that on the
you
on
represent
the turn,
again. You represent hard.
Yeah, because not much changed really.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm thinking 90.
Yeah, I don't know what's in my stack. I had 100 in my head.
Okay.
I don't know what's in our stack up for sure, but we're definitely, we're in the neighborhood there.
Yeah. But Chuck just checks. So, he decided not to represent. I guess maybe giving up. I don't know why you check there. But the button bets 125.
Yeah.
So there was 169 in the pot, and he bet 125, which kind of feels like he doesn't want to call, right?
No, he does not want someone to call him. And you know what, Joe? That's exactly what I'm going to do.
You're going to call?
Yeah. I think he's doing the exact same thing we are, and the only thing he's got is a king.
Yeah, but a king beats you.
You're right, and he could have that. Call it a Christmas miracle. Much like you getting Christmas shopping done between now and tomorrow. You're right. A king does beat us, but I think I don't know. That just screams that he's trying to buy it even bigger or
Right, but wouldn't the better play to be to raise him if that's the case?
Represent your tens. Okay.
Yeah,
you're right. See, that's why you're the pro and I'm not. Yes. Yeah. But oh no, you're right. 125. Call it 4.
Just shoving, probably.
Yeah, you're shoving at this point. Whatever, you're more than likely. Yeah.
He doesn't tell us what's in his stack, but I mean, the only thing I can think of here is if he had something like a weak ace, like ace 3 or ace 4. Now he's emboldened, right? Because he can't lose, really. I mean, unless we had an 8. If we have an ace, then we're chopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to just fold here or if I want to join your ranks and just shove it in. It's definitely not a call.
Yeah.
We can't call.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one.
What are they trying to get us to fold? Kind of exactly what we're representing.
Yeah. Tens.
A medium to small pocket pair.
Yeah. Nines to jacks, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
All right, here's the thing. I'm going to fold. Even though 125 is not really that much more than I was willing to put in there anyway.
But what you want to do on top of it is significantly more because you're going to be shoving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could have some kind of weak ace. Ace 3, ace 4, and he didn't feel comfortable with it. He didn't feel comfortable with his kicker until the boat comes on the end. Let's see. Chuck folds, and the button shows one card, and it's the 5 of diamonds. So Chuck says that leads me to believe he had pocket 5s, and if I jam on the river, he probably folds. Do you think I should have continued on the flop? Maybe the smaller pocket pairs fold. So I'm not sure. I mean, I understand where he gets pocket 5s, but why are we discounting ace 5?
Yeah, you're right.
Ace 5 of diamonds makes sense.
I got to tell you, pocket 5s doesn't make sense to me at all.
Why does it not make sense at all?
Why would you have gotten what? So what? Pre-flop, what was that? Bet it was what?
Pre-flop, we made it 25.
Yeah, I guess it could. Yeah, I guess it could. All right.
But, I mean, then the only thing on the turn, we bet 45 on the turn. So, the only way he's calling that is if he's thinking we have absolute air.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if we have an ace, we win. And maybe he's just thinking there's no way if we would have had an ace, we would have bet on the flop. So that makes sense. Yeah, he's probably thinking, well, we checked the flop, so we don't have an ace. We bet when the 8 came out, and so probably didn't have an 8 in our hand. And he beats us if we have a 2. So, yeah, I think pocket 5s probably make sense. Regardless, it just kept getting better and better for his hand and worse for ours.
Yeah, that was definitely an opposite track that we had going on.
Yeah, I think just because, you would have to put in all of your chips and hope that they didn't have an ace.
Yeah.
And hope that they didn't get sticky with 5s. Then I really think you probably lost the minimum on this hand. Played as you played it.
Yep, I think you're right.
And maybe you don't bet on the turn, but I don't know. I mean, you can't play passive the whole way through the hand. You got to make a stand sometime. So I think you lost the minimum, honestly.
Yep, I think you're right. I don't think you're coming out of there without someone else making a big error. I don't think you're coming out there any better than you did.
Yeah. I think it was a coin flip on whether or not you could have won that hand.
Yeah.
And you would be risking all of your chips on a coin flip, maybe. Because maybe he has ace 5, maybe he has pocket 5s. If he has pocket 5s, maybe he folds. He's definitely not folding an ace, obviously. So I think it was a fine fold. If you continue on the flop, yeah, you probably could continue on the flop, and at least if you continue on the flop, now that, hindsight 2020 kind of thing, if you do continue on the flop, pocket fives probably do let it go.
Yeah.
And if they call, then you could be a little more confident that they probably have some weak ace. So you probably could have got more information by leading out that way. Maybe lead out on the flop and check the turn would have been a better way to go. But,
yeah, I think you're right. Probably get a little bit more. Well, your probing gets a lot more answers there than it does later. Because later time can be getting answers, just those over 5. So, yeah, I think you're right.
Well, hopefully you ran it up for the rest of the session, and I think it was a good fold. Appreciate you sending that in, Chuck. And Patrick, let's do it again next week.
I'll be here. Count me in, my friend.
If anyone else has a hand of the week that they would like us to break down, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com. We'll see you next week.